Okay, not surprisingly, I'm a little bit anxious because this is going to be a social anxiety video, or at least that's what I'm calling them. It's personal work to work on anxiety that prevents me from engaging with people online, uh, work that somewhat hinders or twists how I present myself when I am just talking to the camera, but also just in my kind of my general everyday life. I am finding this as like, okay, social media anxiety is sort of an offshoot or a subsetting of vocal performance. And what I've been finding with my vocal videos is it's a very wide ranging scope of places that I can that they're all contributing to how I appear on camera, how I deal with having a public YouTube channel where I don't allow any comments at this point just because I was finding it too stressful for myself. And not surprisingly, if that's the case, well, okay, I need to do some personal work. And this is a part of doing personal work. And for me at this point, I have a hammer, and that hammer is talking to the camera, reporting stuff, working things out aloud. I find that that seems to be the way that I can process stuff, the way I can think about stuff. I both emotionally feel it and hopefully intellectually work things out and come up with plans and come up with goals and things like that. That's all happening at this point of my life on camera. So yippee! I upload all this stuff to my private channel here. So that said, today it is the first of my, okay, I'm dedicating it social anxiety videos. I'm going to do them every other week, so I'm just not overloading myself with the process. Split it up of doing kind of social anxiety on one week and then doing vocal videos where I'm working more on just techniques, body relaxation, strategies for presenting videos better. That can also go into organization, planning, a limited amount of writing. I got my own goals that way. So for this week, for the kind of the first, what feels like the kickoff, I've done one or two other videos on this. I am doing it's not a video this week. It is actually an offshoot from the one of the first social anxiety videos, which I got from Brbr Hffrnn, who is a therapist, who's got a variety of resources on YouTube and on her website. What in At the end of one of her videos, she had a where she's talking about kind of your critical inner voice and how to heal that voice, not conquer it, but to heal that voice. She included a link to a PDF. The PDF is Transform Your Negative Core Beliefs, and it's a worksheet. It is very much, it's not just reading about things where you just kind of you read through, and once you're done you just put it down and you probably don't think about it anymore. It is something that is actively saying, okay, this is a worksheet. You follow the worksheet, come up with stuff from your own life, apply that, let's work through it on this worksheet. So I gave her my email. She's been sending me emails since now, or her computer has been sending my computer emails since then. So we'll see how that goes, whether I unsubscribe at some point or if I just kind of skim read each thing she sends and delete what I don't want. Also, doing this one worksheet may actually take me a whole month to get through properly. So we shall see. This is the initial thing where this worksheet PDF, it's Transform Your Negative Core Beliefs. And over the last full week, I've been kind of slowly going through it section by section. And this is my video report of that effort, which is part of it is kind of accountability. Okay, this is the goal, get through the thing and report on it, and also to probably deepen that and kind of unify it together. If I can, I will try and do this all in one go. So let's get into the worksheet. I don't know how deeply I will get into the details of the worksheet. I guess I'll just see how comfortable I feel as I go along, and also just a time factor of like I know this stuff and I'm doing it for myself, but yeah, we'll go from there. So this is transforming your negative core beliefs. And starting part one is part one is identifying your negative core beliefs. So first step in that is bring to mind a recent upsetting event. Really picture it, which in itself can be kind of challenging. I think I picked something that was recent. I picked something that probably uh, it's not it was upsetting to me, but it's not so upsetting that it was going to I was going to just get into a tailspin. And actually, in some ways, it resolved itself. So I can see the full arc of it. I can see kind of a bit of the shape of it and have a little bit of perspective on it. So it was useful that way. So I picked something where I live in the house with two wonderful women, and one of those with Ja and her mother uh, had a disagreement with her mom. We did. She was upset with us. We weren't quite didn't actually weren't aware of that she was upset with us until she brought it up one day when I came home, and that really threw me for a loop. I'm not going to go into super details. I do picture it detailed in the thing so I can kind of come up with my physical manifestations of that, and I report them to you. But yeah, I came home. She was out in the backyard. She told me that she was angry. I made some kind of offhand, kind of deflective-y comment, and she said, "I don't want to talk about it anymore." And that was kind of the end of the conversation. And then we didn't talk with each other for a couple of days. Neither myself or my wife talked to her. And I was, I spent the next couple of days kind of very depressed and sad about it. I was worried, like, oh God, what does this mean about the future of the house? We all live together in a house. It's like it's going to break everything up. And I was very eager to kind of attentive, like asking questions, like what can we do to heal this rift and get everyone back together again? Get everyone going. So that's kind of the first part. That it's a little bit more detailed in my thing, but I also don't want to just dredge up that. But that was that moment and the kind of the after effects of that. So notice what physical feelings come up when you picture that event, and that's tightness of chest, feeling hot, feeling sweaty, tension in the shoulders. There was a thing of sort of having raccoon eyes, like there was pressure around my eyes, difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, really and so that's sort of the physical manifestation. Number three, how upsetting does the event feel for you on a scale of 0 to 10? 0 not at all, 10 is off the charts. And it was probably an 8 or a 9 depending on when there's just sort of a cumulative effect of just be worrying about it all over the days. Like maybe it gone down to 7 or a 6, but it was just there for all the days that this was going on. It was anxiety about it. It's like, oh God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So that's where I was kind of physically, and I can feel myself. So number 4, what negative beliefs about yourself go with this event? Choose one or two from the negative cognitions list. And there was a list, helpful list of kind of negative things that you could think about yourself. And I picked 2 of them. I picked number 1, that I am vulnerable. That rupture with my mother-in-law would throw my life into complete turmoil and danger, and the house everything would fall apart. We'd just be miserable, and all that sort of that kind of disaster thinking. And the second one was I'm defective, that I did not do enough to ensure that my mother-in-law's needs were addressed, and that I should have been listening to her more or offering more things. It's like I was at fault. I'd done that, and at the time of when she actually made her complaint, I made an offhand deflecting remark, which just probably made things worse. So it's all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's the 2. I'm vulnerable. I'm defective. Number 5, choose a positive cognition from the list that counters the negative one listed above. Then rate how true that statement feels from 1 to 7. 1 is not true at all, and 7 is completely true. So for I am vulnerable, it was I am safe enough, which I rated sort of just being in that moment a sort of a 3, not very strong. And B, I have, and for I'm defective, I have some strengths, which I put as a 4. So not as much as the vulnerability, but yeah, still not gigantically strong. I'm just going to check something. Okay, this is part 1. I'll go on to part 2, but yes, we're on number 5 and picking the positive cognitions. So we'll do number 6 next.